What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet 2. That's right, we're back, baby. I know it's been a couple of days, and we had some other videos we had to upload and some new series start and stuff like that, but trust me, this series is not going anywhere. So, as promised, I think today we're just going to work on just kind of a little bit of maintenance on the zoo. You know what I mean? Like, over the past few episodes, we have added in a ton of new animals. We are really expanding here. We just want to make sure that everything on the back end is good. So we're going to add in possibly some more staff areas, bathrooms and different, kind of storefronts and restaurants and stuff like that. Potentially, I was thinking, and maybe we should try to add in an extra form of transportation. So, I mean, currently, you walk in right here and you just you have to walk from there. And obviously, getting all the way out here to the elephants, that's a really long walk. And if you look at it, we really don't have that many people out here. So if we were able to build some sort of a train system or something like that to get people out to the outer edges of our zoo, I think that would do a lot of good for us, because you guys can see we just have a ton of space here. So sounds like we've got some things happening up here. We got our guest numbers up, so that's good. Go ahead and claim those rewards. We have an inspector report. Can we see what our last report was? I guess that's saying get a 5-star rating. I know the inspector just left. I think it might be too late to see his report though. So we're all right for now. So let me see what we've got going on. Now we're gonna start off with some work zones. We did a little bit of work with this in the last episode, but I want to make sure we're good. I think we probably are good. Let's take a look at these work zones. Let's just edit them and see what we've got going on. So this is one of our newer work zones. It's the Arctic zone. As we add polar bears and wolves and stuff like that, they're gonna go in there. We do have a little staff area set up next to it, and I think we've got plenty of space so far. Bears, ostriches, and lions. This one's a little bit weird. I mean, it's not bad. It is weird that we have these included in that. I would think we'd probably want these over in the elephants. But at the same time, if one of our workers is on this back path back behind the lions here, then I would think they would have easy access to be able to fix that. So I think we'll leave that as is for now. But obviously we're gonna have to update that in the future. Asia's an interesting one here. So you guys could see we have a tiny little staff area off the backside of the red pandas over here. I guess really we could probably we should add the Komodo dragons as well as the Bengal tigers, because those fit into Asia. And then if we go into everything else, we're gonna take those off like that. So that looks pretty good. And our everything else is currently just pretty much everything else. That kind of makes sense there. I guess what we could do is we could make a new staff zone, and we could put the staff buildings over here on the right side. We could just make these for the what are these? The African buffalo and the Gemsbok. That might make a bit more sense. The problem is we have a pretty big staff area right here, so kind of a little bit overkill, but I guess it's better than nothing. Everything else is actually going to be the crocodiles, the flamingos, the Galapagos tortoises, and the camels. So we can edit this, and we're going to say crocs, flags, torts, and cams. I kind of like that there. All right, looking pretty good. I mean, it is a little bit overkill. It's also got the shopping in there as well, kind of our main food court and stuff. So that's going to be our biggest area. I guess now, since we have this new, we've got the buffalo and Gemsbok set up, we're probably going to want to switch over a mechanic, a keeper, or two possibly, and then there should be one more. So we're gonna swap these over from. Oh shoot, we don't want them in any specific work zone. Yeah, over here, keeper. We're gonna grab one from the crocs, flags, whatever, and we're gonna move that into the buffalo and Gemsbok. Let's make sure that we're always upgrading these guys when we can, and then we'll grab. I say we grab a mechanic, move it into the buffalo and Gemsbok, and that looks pretty good for now. We'll see how that works out. I guess vet. I don't think we necessarily need a vet for every single little place. If those animals need a vet, I think if another vet's not busy, they'll come over and take care of it. So yeah, there you have it. I mean, overall, our workflow is pretty good. Obviously, we have a big oh shoot, we've got overcrowding in the ostriches. We'll take care of that in a second. big area in Asia that's being developed right now, big area in the Arctic that's being developed, and over here in the African / whatever this turns into. So we can't really finalize this yet, but we're looking pretty good. Now, let me see what's going on with the ostriches. Oh, we had a lot of maturities here. So we're gonna come into our zoo. We're gonna take a look at our animals. We're gonna move it to whoever's mature enough to be an adult but not still a baby. Anybody who's young, we are gonna go ahead and send to our trade center. The current ostrich that we're keeping is Ifama. She's a 92, 83, 100, 100. Do we have and then also Braun Jr., 92, 100, 183. So pretty similar there. He's gonna get the boot. 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 All right. Every ostrich in the trade center, apart from Ifama and Braun Jr., are just gonna be released to the wild. We're gonna get some conservation credits for that. Bada bing, bada boom. That has been taken care of. Looking pretty good. Now, vet cannot reach habitat possibly due to your work zone set up. Okay, so I guess we do need a new vet. So I'm gonna hire a new vet. Let's hire a vet here. We're gonna put a vet down right over here, and we're gonna make sure that that vet is set up to work in that work zone. So if we go to employment, we're gonna put them in the Buffalo and Gemsbach, and that should take care of that issue. There we go. All right, good stuff. Speaking of that, let's just go ahead and go into our staff. Always go through and make sure that you upgrade all these guys. You can upgrade them kind of like pretty much every like 30 minutes or hour or so. I'm not sure what the actual number is, but it's always good to make sure that they're top tier. So that looks pretty good. Next up, let's take a look at the zoo in general. Let's see what people are saying, see where we might need some new restaurants, some new drink, shops, stuff like that. Let's get some guest feedback. Thirsty. All right, so we're gonna need some more drink shops. Zoo is great, ticket price is good, it's hot. Ice cream, chief beef, thirsty. Zoo is very spacious. Okay, so it looks like toilets need to go up, energy needs to go up, hunger needs to go up, thirst needs to go up. Education could also go up a little bit, but if it's in the green, we're fine. So thirst is the biggest thing, and I think we also want to add some more toilets. So I know we have, there's a toilet section in there. I don't think there's a toilet section over here. So I'm thinking let's set up some African toilets right here. So we're gonna come in, we're gonna grab some African toilets, and we can just kind of set it up right next to this. Bada bing, bada boom. Looks good. I like it. All right, that's perfect. So we've got African toilets there. Guests that come over this way, we could probably set up a new set of toilets over here. We also need to block this off with some rocks or something. So I'm gonna say, is there like the wintry toilets? Oh yeah, Arctic toilets. I'm gonna set up a small Arctic toilet right here. We're gonna go into our blueprints and we're gonna grab the staff sign. Go ahead and set up a staff sign across here so that nobody goes walking in there. I'm not really sure what to block this with. Let me take a look at nature. I was thinking a big rock wall, but that's not really gonna make a whole lot of sense. Ooh, what do we have favorited? I'll get rid of that. I guess we could do some big trees or something. So we're gonna go into the Tundra Biome, and I guess taiga could potentially work too. Should we just do a bunch of spruces? We've got mossy bushes. Those aren't really gonna do much. Red cedars. See, something like this could be kind of interesting. If we just set these up so you can't really see what's back here. I don't know that it's gonna be perfect. The good news is that the buildings are pretty well themed. So as long as we make them look pretty, we might be able to get away with it. Oh yeah, dude, that looks pretty good right there. And honestly, now that I think about it, like, obviously the big ugly tin staff buildings, like the ones that we have over here, like these first ones, we've got these all blocked off and protected so people can't really see them for obvious reasons. But when you look at these over here, like this fits the theme. We've got, vines hanging down, we've got wood, we've got all kinds of stuff like that, and then you look like we've got vines hanging down, wood, and everything else. So I feel like we probably don't need to necessarily add anything here. Let me know what you guys think. I don't want to take up too much space with stuff, because maybe we're gonna find some cool fountains or something at some point that we can use. But I mean, when you look at this, I don't think that looks bad at all. So I'm happy with leaving that as is right now. So that looks pretty good. We've got we've got bathrooms here on this corner. We've got bathrooms over here now, which is, I mean, fairly close together, but you can't go wrong. Over here, what is this? Might want to add, I'm going to add another little bathroom here, a small African toilet. So we can kind of set these up like this. And I think we're going to have to go in and we're going to have to, I think we're going to have to add all these to new work zones, unfortunately. But that's just what you got to do. So we can set these up along the back side of that bathroom. Looks pretty good. Might want to have another bathroom over here somewhere. Go ahead and, I mean, we can make it a big one for now. Big African toilet. Hopefully we start kind of outsourcing and building out this way. But, or not outsourcing, that's not the word. Hopefully we start building out this way. We'll see what happens. We may not. Let's make sure that both of these paths connect. Boom. All right. Looks, kind of, why does that not connect? That's happened twice now. We need both of these to connect, please. Just set it up nicely. Looks like both are going to connect. Only one connects. Do we have to just move it back farther? Yep. That was the key. All right. We'll take it there. So that looks pretty good. People, you know, kind of come around the backside of the hippos or something. They're going to have bathrooms. I guess we could probably do a small bathroom over here. Bam. All right. Looks good to me. So bathrooms, we're good. Now, the next thing that we needed the most of was the gulpies. So we're going to grab some gulpies here. And we're gonna start moving these all over the place. So I'm gonna say let's put a gulpy soda right next to the bathroom. That makes sense. I'm actually gonna move it in line with the back of the bathroom, so we just have a little bit of space there. You know what I mean? So that if there a line forms, then people don't kind of get in the way. Let me see. We want the, oh shoot, what just happened? We want facilities. We want the African kind of like shell. This is what I wanted right here. So we're gonna move this over here. Looking good. Just kind of set this up right like this. All right, looks good enough to me. So we've got that there, and then I'm gonna say let's grab an ATM and let's set an ATM up. I guess again, I don't really want to make a line form. Shoot. We could put it up like this, but then a line's gonna form on the gulpy. I guess we'll just try it here. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll move it later. Now, I say since we've already got this going, let's just make like a little mini mart, I guess you could call it. We're just gonna make it like 2 or 3 things wide, and it's just gonna be like a couple of things. So we can do a gulpy, we can do a Cosmic Cow ice cream right next to it, and then a Chief Beef. Chief Beef always does well for us. So I'm gonna line this up right like so. It looks like this one could probably be moved back a little bit. Gonna try to get these guys lined up as perfectly as we can, and bam. All right, so we'll grab those. Let me duplicate our little storefront here. There we go, fellas. Business is booming, and we've got 3 new food locations and drink locations in our park. Facilities are without power. That is literally everything over here, but that's fine. Have no worries. We could, I mean, I guess we could just kind of build a little staff path. Let's grab a small staff path. Definitely don't need it to be that wide. And we can bring it out this way. Kind of curve it around this way. And ultimately, we could turn this into a new staff area if we needed it, because it's back behind the storefront, so nobody's really going to see it or care. But then we can just grab some power facility and throw a transformer right here. Make sure it lines up. Bada bing, bada boom. These guys now have power. All right, not too bad. So new areas there, they're open. We've got new vendors and everything. Looking pretty good. Now we're not gonna get lazy on you guys. You all know I always put aloe everywhere, especially with these types of buildings. It's just kind of the theme around our zoo. So we're gonna set up aloe in between each of these buildings. Just kind of lining it, looks pretty good there. Definitely gonna want a staff path sign to make sure that people don't go back there. And then maybe some elephant grass, because we don't want people to be able to see that transformer. So if we just kind of run it along the back here, we only have to run it to there. Well, I guess actually we could probably run it all the way across because they're still going to be able to kind of see through the cracks. So if we run it all the way across, that's going to look pretty nice. All right, not too bad. I like where we're going with this. So we've got a new like little mini stop area to be able to get some food and stuff like that. We've got our main big one right here, which is where the majority of our crowd is. And hopefully by building more of these, it's going to draw them away from that. We've got another, not really mini one, it's a pretty big one over here. And I'm thinking we might want an Arctic themed one over here. So I'm just going to try to pick some that we don't really have. Pip Shot Juice, I don't think I've heard of. So I'm going to set one up, I guess right like so. Looks pretty good. Missy Good Mexcellente. What is Missy Good? I have no clue what Missy Good is. We can set another one up. Street Fox Coffee.
Street Fox Coffee.
Not a bad idea. Coffee actually sounds pretty good right now, I'm not gonna lie. And then I'm gonna say, let's get a, I feel like food and water are the biggest thing. Let's get a Gulpy Energy in there. All right, looking pretty good. Now these are probably gonna be too far spaced apart. We're gonna have to move them, but at least they're there so we can kind of get a gist of how far we want them. Let's grab, if we go back to all, we should have an Arctic shell for 2 of them. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of cool, but it's also, oh, is it gonna fit? It is gonna fit. All right, something like that right there, not bad. And then we can duplicate it and bring it right over here. Try to set it up where it looks nice. That looks pretty good to me. I mean, these two things are kind of touching, but I guess that's all right. Cool. So I really like this. This looks very unique. It almost looks like we're going into like, you know, Diagon Alley or something like that at Universal. I'm gonna try to get this lined up a little bit better. Dude, it's honestly, it's really hard to get this exact. Turn it a little bit. Something like that might be a little bit better. I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna get perfect, but all right, cool. So we've got some new Frozen themed, you know, options. Not really frozen food, but it's kind of, you know, Tundra inspired. So that looks pretty good there. We've got a ton of new food and drink options throughout the park. Let's go back and see. I'm gonna see what else the guests are saying. We might want to speed it up a little bit. Let's speed it up and just kind of let it play for a second. Ooh, we've got some aardvark mating happening. That's good. All right, looking pretty good so far. Now let's see what else. Ice cream. Oh, these didn't really update. I don't know how long it takes these to update. Thirst is still super low. I might throw a couple other Gulpies just throughout the park, if you want me to be honest. Just different variations of Gulpies. Like, what do we have over here? This is a Gulpy soda. This is a Monsieur Frites. I might, let's put like a Gulpy right here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna grab a facility. It doesn't even have to be a Gulpy. There's a Pip Shot Water. Pip Shot Water. That's gonna be pretty nice. So we can just kind of set this up. I'm trying to make it look nice so it gives the same amount of space on each side of the tree. But yeah, we'll set up a Pip Shot Water right there. We'll get a nice little African shell around it. We're gonna have to grab an ATM. Definitely wanna have ATMs all over the place here, so we'll set up an ATM right like this. Probably go back over here and put a couple of ATMs down. Could honestly probably just do them all over the place. I'm gonna do one at every stop, dude. A bit overkill, but hey, if it saves us lines and makes us money, why not? 250 is a small price to pay. So now we're gonna come back over here. We're gonna go into our nature. We're gonna grab some aloe. We're gonna run the sides with aloe. You guys know the dealie. And just like that, I think it looks pretty good. So we've got one there, and I'm trying to think, like, where else are people gonna get thirsty? Maybe over here? I guess we don't really have much over here in Asia. This would be a really good spot for it. All right, so I'm gonna put one just right here. This time we can do like let's do a Gulpy Energy. You guys down for a Gulpy Energy? Get some people some Red Bulls, I guess. So yeah, we've got this here. Just kind of set it up like so. And we should have an Asia We should have an Asian shell that we can use. Oh, dude, this is sick. All right, I like it. We're gonna have to start getting more Asian themed things to put over in this side of the park. But yeah, something like that looks pretty good. We can grab an ATM, throw an ATM next to it, and bada bing, bada boom. We're looking pretty good, dude. I'm liking it so far. I feel like we've made some good additions. Really, I think we kind of need to let these roll and then see what other sorts of feedback we get from the guests in the future. Like, we're gonna have to start doing these episodes a little bit more frequently, I think. I kind of like them, to be honest. Like, making the animal exhibits is fun, but so is this. Maybe we'll do like every 3 animals we do one of these or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on. This is gonna be a big undertaking, dude, and I'm honestly a little bit worried about it. Is it in facilities? Yeah, it's in facilities, transport rides. So we've got a 4x4 adventure tour, which I don't think is what we want right now. We've got a monorail. We've got a riverboat ride, which could be kind of cool. Small steam train or a suspended gondola. Dude, I had no clue these were even options, if you want me to be honest. I'm gonna mess with this for a minute. I'm kind of curious to see how this works. Oh, wow. Can you put this over pathways and into habitats? You cannot. You can't put it in habitats. The problem is that we've really landlocked ourselves into where we're at. Like, this is the entrance. Ideally, it would be close to the entrance and it would get you straight to the other side of the park. But the problem is like, we don't have any room. We've built these habitats right up against the line. So the closest points that we could have this, we could have one here, but this one's kind of locked in. So I guess we could have one pickup right here, and we could have a couple of stops around. And then we could have another one potentially over here is going to be our best bet. Is that going to be worth it? Is it going to lock us too much into where we can put specific exhibits and stuff? I'm honestly, man, I'm a little bit nervous and I'm not sure because I don't know how much farther out we want to grow our zoo, you know what I mean? Oh, the train can go over habitats and stuff. Let's go. All right. So the gondola is cool. And I think on like a per exhibit setup, we could use that. You know what I mean? Like it'd be cool to fly above the giraffes or something like that. But from like an actual transport perspective, I think the train's gonna be our best bet. This is interesting. All right, I'm actually kind of excited about this. So can we have multiple stops? Let me see how this works. So I'm running some tests here, trying to see how this whole thing works. I'm not exactly sure. Like, how do you get people to it? Like, obviously we're gonna want some paths, but then like, how do those paths link up to it? I have no idea how this works. But we've got our first little train station here. That's I mean, it's running. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This is oh well, we have an issue. We're running a second test here. I'm gonna see how this one works. Looks like that was smooth that time. We're continuing to test though. It says there's a problem, but it's not telling me what the problem, like, we already tested it, went well there. I don't know what else we could do. We just had an animal die, that's not good. One of our lions. Oh shoot, that's really not good, dude. Wow, I thought it was gonna be like one of the buffalo or something like that. I was gonna be like, oh, we'll just buy another one, but no, our lions are big news. Does that mean that our male in here is getting pretty old as well? Dude, that makes me really sad. They really kind of jump-started our program, I'm not gonna lie. Dude, he's 16.2 years old. What's his lifespan? 14 years, so he pushed it. Bro, I am proud. Round of applause for our boy right here. Obataye. You really kind of picked this zoo up and put it on your shoulders, bro. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how much you mean to me. You know what I mean? Like that, he really kind of kicked off our breeding program, started getting us conservation credits for us to be able to buy other animals. Obviously now we've got cheetahs and albino lions and elephants and all kinds of crazy animals, but they were the ones that kicked it off. So that's seriously really cool. Respect, brother. I appreciate you. Your legends will live on. All right, guys, I really don't. I think I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to include our train in this episode, because this thing's just going around in circles and it's just continuously testing. Station checklist must be completed before it can be opened. But what checklist are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, the test is working fine. Financial status, customize the color of the ride, ride operations. There's nothing about a checklist here. So I think we're just gonna have to worry about this later, if you want me to be completely honest. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna take that on. It's gonna be an exciting new thing we're gonna be able to do in our next episode. We at least tried. We kind of figured out what's happening. I may look into the overhead gondolas and stuff. I mean, I kind of like the idea of a train. We could potentially move some of these habitats around, but that's also pretty aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. Whoa. All of our flamingos are hungry. We should probably get a keeper over in there. And then I think I saw, aren't we, diseased animal discovered? Oh, shoot. He's really old, though. He's already being moved. That's sad. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to weigh the options. Let me know what you guys think. We could potentially, like, try to move the hippo habitat, but I want to be honest. I don't think I want to do that. I think we could set it up so that the train station, like, I think we have a train station over here that goes all the way up over all of this, comes around this way, and then has a train station, like, maybe over here somewhere. And then it also continues going around this way, and there's going to be a third train station, like, maybe over here somewhere. And that way you've got 3 stops around the park. You can get on and off in 3 different areas. But we honestly, like, we almost kind of want to start building out some of our final, not final, but some further habitats ahead of time, just to make sure that the train fits there and we don't have to mess around with it later. So I think we're going to throw that idea on the back burner. I love the idea, but I think we're going to throw it on the back burner for now. And I guess I'm going to see you guys in our next episode. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this series is going nowhere. I'm sorry we missed it for the past couple of days, but we're back. We're going to keep on grinding, and I'll see you guys in our next episode where we add some new animals. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.